After a while, Yi Xiaotian led Lion Yu to the information department. The guards saw Yi Xiaotian and immediately greeted him. "Hello, Captain Yi." Yi Xiaotian pointed and instructed the guards. "We are currently short-handed, so we will stay to guard the information room. You go suppress the villagers who are still causing chaos in the hallway." The guards obeyed. "Yes, sir." After the guards left, Yi Xiaotian opened the door to venture deeper inside. Lion Yu thought to herself, "As long as I step through this door, putting a tiny chip into the computer will be easy for me." At the same time, Chen Xi ran video called Zhang Yi. Chen Xi ran's voice echoed, "Zhang Yi, how long has it been? What is your answer?" The young man Zhang Yi smirked and replied, "My answer remains unchanged. It's impossible for me to surrender." Upon hearing this reply, Chen Xi ran gritted his teeth. "All right, that is your choice to seek death, then wait for destruction along with your shelter. That's it." As soon as he finished speaking, Chen Xi ran disconnected the call. Zhang Yi sighed and analyzed. Judging by this attitude, the missile situation is most likely true. Even if I abandon the shelter, it doesn't matter, as long as I'm still alive. Lying back on the sofa in deep thought, Zhang Yi silently pondered. In such a vast world, there's no place that doesn't have somewhere to go. There's no need to worry about being trapped in a hideout. Suddenly, a notification popped up on his phone. It was a message from Lion Yu. "I've completed the task you asked me to do. Next, I hope you can keep your promise and help me and the students escape from this place." Zhang Yi read the message and felt delighted. How he succeeded. Then the young man quickly ran to Sin Sin's room. Without bothering to knock, he burst in and called out, "Sin Sin, I have good news. Our plan has succeeded." Sin Sin was equally excited. "Great, I'll get started right away." Sin Sin hurriedly rolled her wheelchair to the computer room. She began the process of connecting to the chip remotely. Just after a few basic keystrokes, she reported back, "Brother, I have completely taken control of the Xishan base's network." Zhang Yi was very surprised. So fast. Sin Sin added, "If they weren't using a private network but a public one, I would have breached their security system a long time ago. I just need a key to open that door. Technically speaking, their technicians are nothing compared to me. It's too easy." Zhang Yi agreed, seeing her talent. That's true, they may not even be the best in technology. The young man Zhang Yi approached Sin Sin from behind to look at the screen, making her blush with embarrassment. Zhang Yi, however, paid no attention and kept asking, "Is our infiltration detected? Can we see all the information in their network?" Despite feeling shy and her face red as a tomato, Sin Sin still replied, "I currently have the highest level of control of the Xishan base network, which is equivalent to looking down on them from a god's perspective. All their activities will be observed by us, but they cannot detect our presence at all." Hearing her speak so expertly, Zhang Yi couldn't help but exclaim, "That's great. This way we'll know all their secrets." Then Zhang Yi quickly pointed at the screen and told Sin Sin, "Hurry up, get all the information about the missile launch. I want to see if they are truly trying to scare people." Sin Sin, with her skilled fingers typing on the keyboard, replied while working, "According to the investigation of the Xishan base, they do not have the authority to deploy missiles." Zhang Yi carefully asked, "Then can they request support from outside? For example, to request deployment from other areas?" "Yes, Zhang. Let me check right away." After a brief moment, Sin Sin exclaimed with joy, "Found it." Sin Sin pressed play on the recording of the conversation with Chen Xi Ran. The audio began to play. "Mr. Zhu, I would like to ask you for this favor. Help me use a missile to attack a unit in Tianhai City. Mr. Chen, you need to think this through. The thanks I owe you can only be used once. I know. I can make a decision about this. The launch time is midnight, okay? Ha, no problem." This recording made both Zhang Yi and Sin Sin sweat profusely as the missile launch was completely real. Zhang Yi thought to himself, the military forces there are extremely powerful, definitely not comparable to small places like Tianhai. After pondering this, Zhang Yi told Sin Sin, "Hurry up, see if they have sent the coordinates of the hideout." After a moment of checking, Sin Sin happily said, "Mr. Zhang, luckily, the deployment of a large satellite requires a lot of procedures. They are still seeking approval and haven't sent the coordinates yet." Zhang Yi breathed a sigh of relief. Not knowing what Sin Sin was thinking, she turned around and smiled at Zhang Yi. "Mr. Zhang, shall we play an interesting game?" Facing the unexpected question, Zhang Yi froze and asked again, What game do you want to play?" Sin Sin smiled confidently. "Let's change the missile strike coordinates to the Xishan base. It would be interesting to see them blow themselves up." Zhang Yi nervously asked, "Is that possible? If we change the coordinates without permission, will we be detected?" Sin Sin mischievously smiled with confidence. "I'm confident that I can do it without being detected. The most important thing is not what coordinates we send, or what coordinates they receive. I can intercept their message and use our computer to send the Xishan base coordinates. Hearing Sin Sin say this, Zhang Yi was happy yet anxious. If we can do that, it would be amazing. It's just, the Xishan base won't be so easily destroyed, right? Zhang Yi turned and called loudly, Lu Qiran, can you help me analyze whether the Xishan base can withstand a large missile attack based on its structure? I'm coming right now. Lu Qiran ran over, observed the structure of the Xishan base. After a thorough analysis, Lu Qiran said, Brother Zhang, I'm serious. The structure of this base is very solid, and it is located over 100 meters deep underground. Upon saying this, Lu Qiran also broke into a sweat. Without mentioning missiles, even atomic bombs can be withstood as long as they are not in the blast zone. If it is a ground-penetrating missile specifically designed to deal with underground structures, it might be feasible. But if just one shot can cause destruction, that seems unrealistic. Such defensive works are originally prepared for wartime. They won't be easily destroyed like that. After hearing this, the young man Zhang Yi was sweating profusely. This task seems too difficult. But in the end, Zhang Yi made a decision. Sin Sin, just do as you said. Change their coordinates. We still need that missile to strike the Xishan base. This should definitely be okay. Also, help me gather information about the Xishan base. I will study it in detail later. All right, Brother Zhang. I'll get on it right away. After that, Zhang Yi left the control room. Watching Zhang Yi leave, Lu Qiran murmured, What is Brother Zhang thinking? Everything has been resolved now. I think he wants to take this opportunity to attack the Xishan base. But with his cautious personality, how could he be so reckless? Thinking it over, Lu Qiran continued to murmur, That's true. Compared to taking the initiative to attack, Brother Zhang prefers to protect himself more. In the 25-story building on the 20th floor, the young man Zhang Yi had now put on his combat uniform. He sat in deep thought. I don't want to sit and wait to die. Even if I escape this time, it doesn't mean Chen Xiran will let it go. He could still contact other forces to hunt me down. There is only one opportunity at the moment the missile attacks. Even if we can't directly destroy the Xishan base, it will still cause great panic. Zhang Yi continued to calculate. I still have 500 kilograms of explosives obtained from the special forces during our first encounter, plus a few hundred kilograms that Lu Qiran had prepared, totaling nearly 1 ton. If I can take advantage of the chaos and throw all this amount of explosives inside the base, the effect will definitely be amazing. Even if we can't destroy the Xishan base, killing those inside would be just the same. After a while, Zhang Yi returned and called Sin Sin. I want to see the current military deployment of the Xishan base, including personnel and weapons. I need to know everything. The young man raised a finger and emphasized, There is one more very important point, which is information about the capabilities of a mutant person. Sin Sin curiously asked, Are you planning to actively attack the Xishan base? Zhang Yi clenched his fist and said, If we can be confident in a high chance of success, why not give it a try? We need to change the position of both sides. We can't always be the prey. Now we will go hunting. After a moment of excitement, Zhang Yi became cautious again. Of course, first we must see what their strength is like. If the difference is too great, let's consider this idea just a joke. Hearing this, Sin Sin couldn't help but smile. This is the Zhang Yi I know. I thought someone had possessed you. Ha ha. Immediately, Sin Sin accessed the Xishan base's database. She pressed enter on the keyboard and told Zhang Yi, The information has been compiled. It may be viewed at any time. Do you want to see it right now? Zhang Yi was so impatient that he wanted to check it immediately. Right now. So Sin Sin opened the information and stepped aside, making room for Zhang Yi to sit and watch. The Xishan base currently has 521 regular soldiers fully equipped with weapons. The special forces have lost over 50 members, leaving Liang Yu and 6 others. Among them, some are natural mutant persons, while the rest have been implanted with the cells of team leader Lang Feng to transform into mutant persons. Information about the rank captain mutant person of the Xishan base. Lang Feng, enhancement capability. Title capability is superhuman, can enhance all body functions comprehensively, with combat strength 10 times that of an ordinary human. Speed, 5 stars. Strength, 5 stars. Overall capability, 5 stars. Abnormal capability, none. Rank, S. Looking at Lang Feng's information, Zhang Yi thought to himself, worthy of being the captain of the Xishan base special forces, his strength is indeed formidable. If an attack is to be launched, this person is the greatest threat to be wary of. However, his abnormal capability does not allow for long-range attacks. As long as I maintain distance, I can find a way to counter him. Zhang Yi continued to review the information about the remaining individuals. Fang Zuan, attack skill, capability title, Fireman. Can emit molten fire from his body. Speed, 2 stars. Strength, 1 star. Abnormal capability, 3 stars. Aggregate capability, 1 star. Ranking B. Zhang Xu, control skill. Capability titled Ice Wind. Can create solid ice blocks for combat. Speed, 2 stars. Strength, 1 star. Abnormal capability, 4 stars. Aggregate capability, 3 stars. Ranking A. Xuanbing Ji, Beastman, capability titled Beast King. Can transform into a giant monster, enhancing speed and combat ability. Possesses extreme poison. Speed, 3 stars. Strength, 4 stars. Abnormal capability, 2 stars. Aggregate capability, 3 stars. Ranking, A-. Shike Yang, Beastman, capability titled Giant Ice and Snow Poisonous Monkey. Can transform into a giant gorilla, enhancing physical strength, has cold resistance. Speed, 3 stars. Strength, 4 stars. Abnormal capability, none. Aggregate capability, 4 stars. Ranking, A. Yiram Hua, spiritual control, title Wizard. Has the ability to deceive, conceal capability, deep hypnosis, can manipulate the opponent's mind to imagine a fake death, can cause the opponent to become brain dead, effective eye contact, achieves maximum impact. Speed, 1 star. Strength, 1 star. Unusual capability, 3 stars plus. Combined capability, 3 stars plus. Ranking, A-. Zhang Yi thought to himself, intelligence from the Xaishan base shows that there is a professional organization that classifies individuals with special capability into 6 different types. However, the classification is still quite general, only based on the forms of expression of basic capability. After sitting for a long time to review the information, Zhang Yi felt a bit of back pain. He stood up, stretched, and thought, perhaps when there is more data about individuals with special capability, a more detailed classification can be carried out. My capability is space, which definitely does not belong to any of the previous 5 types. Therefore, it can only be classified generally as a characteristic type. In summary, my combat force includes myself, Su Chunlai, Uncle Wang, Cat Hoa Hoa. In terms of capability, it is not weak. Adding Lai and Yu, we can coordinate attacks from the inside. Therefore, the key is still how to infiltrate the base, plant the bombs safely, and withdraw safely. Seeing Zhang Yi deep in thought, Liu Keiran said, Zhang Yi, if you're still uncertain, why not discuss it with everyone? Sin Sin teasingly chimed in, the discussion includes us too. What can we really gain by talking to them? Liu Keiran replied, the more people involved, the more objective opinions we can gather. Who knows, they might have good ideas to help you find inspiration. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yi nodded in agreement. That's absolutely right. In fact, I was already considering that. Let's go, we'll have our meeting outside. A meeting with everyone quickly got underway. Zhang Yi chaired the meeting and began. Next, you'll have a rare opportunity to eliminate the Xaishan base. I believe everyone understands that Xaishan has become our enemy. I'm not someone who enjoys competition, but I won't let anyone bully me. This time, I will definitely fight them, but I can't succeed alone. I need the strength of all of you. What do you all think? As soon as Zhang Yi made this declaration, Xu Chunlai, Uncle Wang, and the 2 girls, Zhao Kaini and Dong Mat, were all sweating profusely. Zhang Yi turned to Uncle Wang and said, Uncle Wang, you are the oldest person here. Please speak first. Uncle Wang calmly said, the Xaishan based at the Yunque estate has suffered serious losses. Right now, reconciliation with them is impossible. Instead of waiting to die, it's better to take the initiative and attack. This time we have a good opportunity to return their attacks to them. I think we should seize this chance. Uncle Wang tightened his fist and said loudly, Zhang Yi, I already owe you too much. As long as you want to attack the Xaishan base, I will definitely follow you to the end. Zhang Yi turned to ask Su Chunlai, and what about Hugh? With his timid nature, Su Chunlai worried. Can we defeat them? The opposing faction has many people with special abilities, and they also have an army. Their weapons are also more than ours. Zhang Yi calmly leaned back in his chair. As for people with superpowers, you don't have to worry. We have just as many as they do. And about the regular soldiers, Zhang Yi's expression darkened as he said, leave those soldiers to me. You must know my tactics, right? Moreover, don't forget how many people from Sudong village have died at their hands. Don't you want to take revenge for the villagers? Hearing this, Hu Chunlai scratched his head. Actually, fine. After all, I'm not very familiar with those villagers. Zhang Yi heard this and smirked, thinking to himself, I thought I was being very cautious, but I didn't expect there would still be someone more afraid of death than me. Chu Chun-Li continued, but Zhang, if you want to fight, I will fight with you. No problem. Zhang Yi pressed on. Oh, do you think that quickly? Chu Chun-Li replied, as far as I'm concerned, it's good. Eat, drink, sleep. Don't have to worry about anything. If something happens to you, surviving alone in this apocalypse wouldn't mean anything to me. Chu Chun-Li tightened his fist. As a person, the important thing is to choose the right side to bet on. I've decided to bet here. Zhang Yi nodded. All right then, let's make a decision. The three of us shouted together. Attack the Xishan base. We must win. Even after making a decision, Chu Chun-Li still felt anxious. Zhang, this time you must plan everything very carefully and well. Zhang Yi replied, don't worry, I don't want to die early either. Zhang Yi pushed the information about the mutant person from the Xishan base away and said, next, we will start the tactical conference. I will introduce everyone to the opponent we are about to face and my plan. Uncle Wang pointed at the mutant person and said, I can help a lot with this. After all, I received professional military training when I was in the army. Zhang Yi nodded. Then it settled. Zhang Yi turned to Sin Sin and said, please give Uncle Wang and Shu a brief introduction about the basic situation of Xishan. Just the things I just reviewed so they understand the situation. Sin Sin replied, yes, so please follow me. During this time, Zhang Yi held his phone and thought, if we want to launch an attack on the Xishan base, the weather is favorable, the land is favorable, and the people are harmonious is missing one thing. Zhang Yi sent a message to Liang Yu. Thank you for helping us solve a problem. Before midnight tomorrow, please hide in a sufficiently safe place. At that time, there will be a chance for you to escape. We will be outside providing support. Liang Yu replied to the message, will you send someone to pick us up? Great, I will be there on time. If you have any plans, could you let me know? We can coordinate internally and externally. We have already controlled the network of the Xishan base, so you don't need to worry about information security. Zhang Yi replied, to sum up, at midnight tomorrow, there will be changes at the Xishan base. You will understand the specific situation by then. At that time, I will inform you of what you need to do. After a long explanation of the issues for Uncle Wang and Chu Chun-Li to understand, Sin Sin continued the work of changing the missile's attack address. Sin Sin stretched out. It's done, the replacement is complete. Sin Sin turned to Zhang Yi and said, if nothing unexpected happens, the missile will definitely fall right on the Xishan base. Zhang Yi felt very satisfied and ruffled Sin Sin's hair. Great job! Finally, the ultimate showdown is upon us. In 31 hours, the missile will strike the Xishan base. Liu Keiran held a stack of documents and reported. According to predictions, to deal with the fortified shelter, they must use large-capacity penetrating bombs. This type of ammunition cannot destroy the Xishan base, which is more than 100 meters underground that can cause strong tremors, resulting in an 8.0 earthquake. The impact potential is not an issue. Zhang Yi was reviewing the stack of documents while planning. At that time, Sin Sin will control the network of the Xishan base and cut off their power supply. The main energy source of the Xishan base is electricity. Once the power supply is cut off, the entire Xishan base will temporarily fall into paralysis, causing a huge crisis. Sin Sin quickly added, although I can cut the electricity by controlling the network, there are also backup generators inside the Xishan base that can restore the power system. Zhang Yi punched the air excitedly. No problem. Creating chaos for a short time is enough. At that time, Liang Yu will lead her students out from the 4th life supply depot. Chu Chun-Li curiously asked, what will we do after we take advantage of the chaos to enter? Although we say we want to destroy the Xishan base, what does complete destruction mean? Should we kill their leader, Shen Xiran? Killing him alone would be useless. Someone else would surely replace him very quickly. Are we going to kill everyone at the Xishan base? Upon saying this, Chu Chun-Li broke out in a sweat. Brother Zhang, you don't really want to kill all of them, do you? At this moment, Zhang Yi replied, at the very least, we have to deal with most of their leadership, reducing the number of troops at the Xishan base by over 80%. Of course, it would be best to kill them all, and this is not impossible to achieve. I have a lot of explosives on hand, some of which were obtained from them before to destroy their hideouts. Some are mine. The underground space is densely packed with explosives. Detonating them will have consequences that everyone can understand. Weapons expert Liu Keiran muttered, the boss has about 1,000 kilograms of explosives. If such a large amount explodes, it will definitely destroy the constructed buildings and damage a part of the Xishan base. The casualties among nearby personnel are needless to say. The most important thing is that it will destroy the entire life-supporting system of the Xishan base, such as the power supply system, the water supply system, the air circulation system, and even the escape tunnels. Losing just one of these systems will make survival in the underground Aksai-shan base extremely difficult. Moreover, when the explosion occurs, a large amount of oxygen will be consumed, which would affect many people who are not directly hit but end up suffocating due to a lack of oxygen. Zhang Yi, your plan is excellent, but how can we sneak into the Aksai-shan base? Charging in like this not only risks getting lost, but also being recognized by many people. Zhang Yi replied, I have certainly considered this point. First, memorize the structure of the Aksai-shan base. There is a 3D structural map on the computer. Examine it closely. This is a matter of life and death. It cannot be taken lightly. As for how to get inside to place the explosives, a little disguise will be enough. Zhang Yi handed each person a set of clothes. If we wear these outfits and with the chaos at that time, it will be easy for us to slip in. The explosives will be placed in the second leg storage. All the important systems of the entire Aksai-shan base are located here. Just find a discrete spot to place the explosives. After all, whether it's 1,000 kilograms of explosives, it will have the same effect no matter where it is placed. Zhang Yi continued to analyze the situation. Kuoho's mobility far exceeds that of a normal mutant person. Once any unusual situation is detected, both I and it will lead the others to escape first. The transportation options on the snow at the Aksai-shan base consist of only one snow vehicle and a few insignificant snowmobiles. After breaking out, a snow vehicle can easily distance itself from the opponent by several blocks. Zhang Yi carefully reminded Uncle Wang and Su Chunlei, remember, completing the mission is important, but the most important thing is to stay alive. Switching to the fourth life base, Liang Yu informed the students, tonight at midnight, everyone must not sleep. I will come back here to tell you something very important. Knowing that danger was always lurking, when they were at the Aksai-shan base, the male students obediently replied, yes, we will listen to you. Liang Yu comforted a female student. Don't worry, just a little more effort and it will be fine. The next morning, Zhang Yi's group had a big meal to prepare their strength for the extremely dangerous mission in enemy territory. According to the agreement, the missile attack is scheduled for tonight at midnight. We need to go there in advance to prepare. As long as the missile attack occurs, Liang Yu and the others will take the chance to escape. We must wait until Liang Yu runs outside, then we will move in. If Liang Yu does not appear, it means something has gone wrong and we will not receive guidance from the guide. Do not hesitate, cancel the plan immediately. Then, according to the planned scheme, blend into the chaotic crowd to install the explosives and then run outside. If anything uncertain happens, we should not hesitate, just run outside directly. Remember, safety comes first and there is no need to take risks in anything uncertain. Uncle Wang asked Zhang Yi for clarification. Does that mean to ensure the success of the plan, we must first guarantee the rescue of Liang Yu and her students, right? Zhang Yi replied, let's just say that. However, the important thing is Liang Yu, her students. Zhang Yi continued, finally, there is one very crucial point. Since this is a combat situation in the chaotic environment of the enemy base, their heavy weapons and equipment will not be usable. I have a way to deal with regular soldiers and small arms, but the most challenging problem is how to deal with their 6 mutant persons. I intend to use a racing-style approach to deal with them. Of course, the prerequisite is that we cannot escape their pursuit. If we can run, we must choose to flee first. Soon, it was that evening. Zhang Yi and everyone had prepared for a major and dangerous operation. Zhou Kaini anxiously suggested, should I go along with everyone? Zhang Yi, along with Uncle Wang and Su Chunlei, got into the pickup truck and moved towards the Aksai-shan base. At that moment, Sin Sin called through the earpiece. Brother Zhang, the Aksai-shan base has just confirmed with the Nanjiang area, the missile launch time is exactly 12 midnight. The coordinates are according to the direction I modified. You don't need to worry. Zhang Yi immediately responded, I understand. You continue to monitor their network. Report any issues immediately. Yes, sir. The vehicle continued to accelerate towards Aksai-shan base. It was not difficult to pass through the thick layer of snow. As they got closer to the target, Aksai-shan base, Zhang Yi suddenly took out a box of medicine, turned around, and handed 2 syringes to Uncle Wang and Su Chunlei, saying, this is a special stimulant that can excite your body and nervous system, allowing you to exert strength beyond the normal limits while also reducing the feeling of pain. While Zhang Yi and Uncle Wang were injecting the medicine, Su Chunlei, with his timid nature, immediately asked, stimulants always have side effects. Quickly, Zhang Yi finished the injection and withdrew the syringe. He turned back and said, even if there are side effects, that's a concern for later. They won't manifest in the short term. Zhang Yi moved his arm to spread the medicine evenly and continued. First, keep your lives safe. Once the mission is completed and we get home, you can rest however you want and recover however you like. Hearing this, Su Chunli nodded in agreement. That's true. Compared to minor side effects, life is much more important. Zhang Yi looked ahead and thought to himself, unexpectedly, the Xishan base is coming up soon. Inside warehouse number 4, Liang Yu told the group of students, everyone quickly put on all your clothes and shoes. The students hurriedly got dressed. A curious female student asked, Teacher Liang, we are going to escape, right? A long-haired male student motioned for her to be quiet and said, don't talk too much, just follow what Teacher Liang instructs. At this moment, Liang Yu thought to himself, Zhang Yi, even though I don't know what you plan to do, please do not disappoint me. The scene shifts to Chen Xiran's office. He thought, although the loss is somewhat significant and we've lost a valuable opportunity to seek help, if we can eliminate this thorn in our side, it will be completely worth it. Ultimately, the existence of that kid Zhang Yi is not only a threat to the dominance of the Xishan base, but also seriously damages my reputation in the surrounding areas. Just then, Captain Lang Feng came in and called out, Leader, Lang Feng, you've arrived. Chen Xiran confidently stated, as for Zhang Yi, you don't need to worry. I have figured out how to deal with him. Hearing this, Lang Feng was shocked and curiously asked, you already have a solution for him. Lang Feng thought to himself, how can this be done? After all, it is based on the power of the family that you hold your current position. In terms of combat training, Chen Xiran, you are not even as good as an ordinary soldier. Chen Xiran continued, you have to understand, even in an apocalyptic era, the military still holds immense power. Mutants are not invincible. Upon hearing this, Lang Feng broke into a sweat. Rest assured, I will absolutely follow the leader's arrangements. Chen Xiran presented the image of Zhang Yi's hideout on the laptop and continued. The person responsible for the other areas is Zhu Jiang. He still owes me a big favor. This time, I'm asking him to help use underground missiles to attack Zhang Yi's hideout. Lang Feng was delighted to exclaim, great, this means Zhang Yi is surely going to die. Chen Xiran continued, I said it before, don't think that just because you have a little special ability, you can act recklessly. This world is not as simple as you imagine. He went on, come here, Lang Feng, today we will watch how his hideout gets destroyed. Both of them looked at the computer screen displaying the image of Zhang Yi's hideout and waited for the missile to strike. Looking at the structure of Zhang Yi's hideout and the missile plan, Lang Feng sighed, to deal with just one Zhang Yi and have to use such heavy weaponry is truly a bit of a waste. Chen Xiran also sighed and said, it's just a pity that the control of such weapons lies in the hands of a few major military regions. Considering the previous circumstances, we could still talk about it. My rank and Zhu's really aren't that different. Now he's become a king in the autonomous region. Lang Feng curiously asked, if we could ask Commander Zhu for help, we could wipe out the whole city of Tianhai in an instant, right? Chen Xiran turned to smile lightly and said to Lang Feng, you're still too young, completely unaware. Chen Xiran thought to herself, after this time, if I want Zhu Jiang to act again, I have to pay a much higher price. He has monopolized one side and acts on his own. What reason does he have to support me anymore? Scene shifts to the Yu Lu apartment complex nearing midnight. Sin Sin is still continuously monitoring the computer system. At the Nanjiang headquarters, Zhu Jiang has pressed the button to launch the missile. In a flash, a missile from the military area has been launched towards the Xishan base. Through the cameras and security system, the people in the information department at the Xishan base began to panic. What is this? Is it a missile? Where is it coming from? What do they want? Hurry, report it. Zhang Yi saw the missile ready to strike the Xishan base and knew the time had come. The giant missile roared to life with fierce flames at its tail speeding downward. In its blinding light, a small shelter appeared with old concrete walls and rusted iron doors. The shriek of the missile echoed, creating an atmosphere of tension and fear. As it drew closer, chaos ensued, and people in the shelter frantically sought a place to hide. Everything seemed to slow down as the missile finally collided, creating a huge explosion. Dust and debris erupted around, smoke and fire engulfing the area. Zhang Yi's nearby vehicle was also affected by the missile and came to a stop. Zhang Yi immediately connected with Sin Sin. Ready to begin? Yes, sir. Zhang Yi. Sin Sin was already prepared with a method to infiltrate the Xishan base's systems. She pressed enter, and the entire power and surveillance camera system went offline. The people at the Xishan base fell into chaos. What? Why did the power system go out? Chen Xiran was also horrified, unable to stand steady. After the base had just endured a missile strike with the power system down, he asked his subordinate in confusion, what is happening? Why is this happening? Quickly, Chen Xiran was informed by his subordinate, Leader, we have been attacked by a missile. Chen Xiran was stunned, unable to believe it. What? Attacked by a missile? Where did the missile come from? He gritted his teeth. Could it be Zhu Jiang? Damn it, he tricked me. Thinking of this, Chen Xiran staggered and could no longer stand firm. After a while, he finally regained his composure. Don't think about anything else. The urgent matter now is to restore order to the Xishan base quickly. Lang Feng gathered the special forces to ensure our security. Yes. Be careful not to let the group in warehouse number 4 cause trouble. Deploy troops for strict vigilance. If anyone takes advantage of the chaos to disrupt, kill them on the spot. Seeing a disturbance, the guards at the south gate quickly radioed the information department. This is the southern ground entrance. What was that tremor just now? Base, please respond. At the same time, Zhang Yi's car was speeding at 120 kilometers/a, plowing through the nearby guards. After scattering the guards, the car came to a stop right at the south information gate. Zhang Yi stepped out of the vehicle, weapon in hand, and shouted, "Attack." 30 seconds later, Zhang Yi's group had dealt with the guards outside. Zhang Yi told Uncle Wang and Fu Chunlei, "Now we just wait for Liang Yu." Transitioning to warehouse number 4, the students were bewildered after a tremor that shook the heavens and the earth, exclaiming, "What just happened?" An earthquake. Liang Yu had his hand ready on the hilt of his sword, silently thinking, "So that's it. The reason we've been told to wait until 12 o'clock is because of this." After that, Liang Yu signaled to the group of students, "Let's go. Hurry up. Leave this place with me. Hurry up, hurry up." The group of students shouted, "Quickly follow Teacher Liang." But just as they reached the door, they saw 2 armed soldiers blocking another group of people. One shouted, "Everyone turn back. You can't go outside or I'll shoot." The other also yelled loudly, "Step back. Everyone step back. You can't go outside anymore." The entire base was experiencing a power outage and visibility was very limited in the pitch-black crowded space. A guard soldier at Xishan base thought to himself, "Shit, it's so dark, shooting randomly like this, who knows if I'll hit a teammate." The weakness of the guards was their limited visibility and being obstructed by the crowd in front of them. Liang Yu immediately realized that the opportunity had come. Right away, she led the way, guiding the group of students to run around to the side. The guards didn't dare to fire in such restricted visibility and with the obstruction of other people. After running for a while, a female student seemed to hear something. That's gunfire. Someone is shooting inside. Seeing that a few female students had stopped and were hesitant to continue, Liang Yu quickly went over, took their hands, and encouraged them. "Come on, don't look back. Just keep going straight ahead. There's still a distance to the exit. We need to go through several tunnels. We must speed up." Taishan base has a strong armed force, and a riot of this scale can be easily suppressed. Don't be careless. The whole group hurriedly ran fast, and just as they reached the exit, 2 armed guards blocked their way. "Without orders, you cannot pass here. Turn back now." This time, Liang Yu did not hesitate, drew his sword, and in 2 swift strikes, the heads of the 2 soldiers rolled off. Red fluid splattered, and Liang Yu continued urging, "Hurry up." The group quickly ran up a staircase leading to the upper level. A male student joyfully shouted, "That's the exit. We've reached the exit." Suddenly, Liang Yu signaled for everyone to stop. In front of them, a woman stood above, blocking their path, and shouted, "Liang Yu, you are a traitor and dare to come back." It was Secretary Ji, along with a group of fully armed soldiers from the Xishan base standing in the way. Ji Rao stepped forward and said, "The wise leader knew for sure someone would try to take advantage of the chaos to escape, so he ordered the soldiers to block all exits. Anyone who resists will be shot dead." Ji Rao raised her hand to signal the soldiers to get ready, then said to Liang Yu's group, "Do you think no one has ever wanted to escape before? You are not the first batch, nor will you be the last, but your fate will be the same, becoming food for the inferior beings. Liang Yu, you risk your life just for these useless test subjects." Hearing these words, Liang Yu broke out in a cold sweat, while the students' faces darkened with fear. Seeing the soldiers raise their guns, Liang Yu raised her hand to stop them. "Wait, perhaps we can still negotiate." Shirao shouted loudly. The Xishan base does not allow betrayal. Ignoring Liang Yu's words, she ordered the soldiers to open fire. There is nothing left to negotiate. Betrayal is betrayal, and we will not show mercy. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out. A Xishan soldier was shot in the head. The soldiers panicked and shouted, "There are enemy infiltrators." And it was Zhang Yi, a young man with a smoking sniper rifle in hand. Jiru pointed and ordered, "Quick, kill them. Eliminate them all. Leave no one behind." In that moment of suffocating tension, Liang Yu turned to the students behind her. "Don't move." A male student anxiously asked, "What about you, Teacher Liang?" Just then, gunfire from Zhang Yi's team erupted. Liang Yu realized, reinforcements have arrived. I need to go help them. Liang Yu drew her sword and quickly ran up the stairs. Taking advantage of the opportunity, the soldiers were distracted by Zhang Yi's team. Liang Yu prepared to attack from behind. Chun Lei used her superpower to create a layer of snow and ice to obscure the view of the Xishan's soldiers. Zhang Yi and Uncle Wang continuously fired their weapons, while Liang Yu attacked fiercely from behind with her sword. The Xishan soldiers were caught in a sandwich effect, unable to fight back or turn and flee. Quickly, they fell one by one. The shell casings from Zhang Yi and Uncle Wang dropped down in large numbers as well. After a while, the Xishan soldiers were taken care of. Liang Yu sighed with relief. "Thank you for your support." Zhang Yi replied calmly. "It's nothing. It's what you deserve." Looking at the bodies of the Xishan soldiers, Zhang Yi thought to herself, "If it weren't for Liang Yu acting as a spy at the Xishan base, I wouldn't have had the chance to launch an assault on the Xishan base. Helping is the right thing to do. Quickly lead the remaining students outside. Delaying any longer will be very dangerous." The students in a panic were overjoyed to see Liang Yu. She comforted them. "It's all right now. We are free." She turned to criticize Jiro. "Jiro, it's you who led my students one by one down to hell, right?" She was so frightened that she was about to lose her mind, wanting to run away. "I'm just a secretary. Everything was ordered by the leader." But she hadn't crawled far before Yi Xiaotian blocked her path. Terrified, she screamed, "No, it's not my fault. You can't kill innocent people." Yi Xiaotian then took out a knife. "Killing innocent people? Do you have the right to say that?" With a swift slash across Jiru's neck, red fluid splattered everywhere. After that, Yi Xiaotian tossed her body aside. Liang Yu walked over to Zhang Yi and said, "Thank you for coming to our aid on time." Zhang Yi pointed behind him and replied, "The guards at the entrances have been completely taken care of. Now, your students can go first." Immediately, Zhang Yi opened the space storage, took out some food and supplies, and said, "There's high-energy food here as well as fuel for heating. You should tell them to take these items and escape to the dormitory located 5 kilometers to the southeast. Please lead the way for us. We have other tasks to attend to." Seeing Liang Yu and Zhang Yi's group preparing to leave, the students looked worried. "Aren't you all coming with us?" Zhang Yi calmly replied, "Feel free to leave. The people from the Xishan base are too busy to chase after you now. However, if we simply escape, I'm sure that after they settle things here, they will definitely pursue us." Hearing this, the students were extremely terrified, especially since she had already killed many of their people. Liang Yu thought to herself, "She is right. Since deciding to confront the Xishan base, I have no way back." Liang Yu curiously asked Zhang Yi, "What are you planning to do?" "Very simple," Zhang Yi replied. "Take this opportunity to end everything and blow up the Xishan base completely. That way, both you and I will no longer have any burdens." Liang Yu was extremely shocked and pressed. Destroy the entire Xishan base. Seeing Zhang Yi silent, Liang Yu felt stunned. There are still thousands of people in the base. If we destroy this place, are we pushing them to their deaths? But if we don't eradicate the roots, who will be the ones who die? Zhang Yi said. After a moment of hesitation, Liang Yu clenched her fists with determination. "All right, I will help you." Liang Yu turned back to instruct the students. "Yi Xiaotian, you lead the others outside. I will quickly follow." Yi Xiaotian worriedly told Liang Yu, "You must come back safe." Immediately, Yi Xiaotian led the group of students to escape outside. Zhang Yi urged, "Let's go. There's not much time left." Zhang Yi took out his phone, showed a picture to Liang Yu, and said, "Take us to this location." "Okay, follow me." Quickly, the group donned their gear and helmets and rushed to the second life supply warehouse. Upon entering, Zhang Yi immediately commanded, "Start now! Hurry up!" Uncle Wang and Xu Chun Li quickly took the TNT explosives and set them up throughout the nooks and crannies. Liang Yu looked at the architecture inside the Xishan base and murmured, "The structure here is incredibly solid. Ordinary explosives are useless." The young man Zhang Yi calmly replied, "I know, and these explosives are not ordinary explosives." Zhang Yi then opened his space storage and took out a large amount of TNT. "This is the explosives I obtained when the Xishan people prepared to blow up my hideout." Liang Yu was very surprised to see so much explosives and exclaimed, "You still have this?" Zhang Yi turned his head and responded, "Of course, I have never wasted a single grain of rice. Let them taste their own explosives right now." After finishing setting up enough TNT, Zhang Yi raised his hand to signal and called everyone. "Hurry, let's go, leave this place now." On the way, Zhang Yi added a bit more explosives. Everyone quickly moved together with Zhang Yi. Liang Yu curiously asked Zhang Yi, "Why not eliminate Chen Xi Ran first? Catch the king before catching the general." Liang Yu was already ready with his hand on the hilt of his sword and continued, Chen Xi Ran dies, the Xishan base will cease to function. The young man Zhang Yi suddenly stopped and replied, killing a Chen Xi Ran will just bring more Chen Xi Ran to take his place. Have you ever thought that the problem is not the person but the regime of the Xishan base? Hearing Zhang Yi say that, Liang Yu broke out in a cold sweat and thought, what he said really makes sense. Zhang Yi turned around and continued, a place that harbors such wickedness should be destroyed. Otherwise, it will continue to nurture evil. Suddenly, a few guards spotted Zhang Yi's group and shouted, stop! Where do you think you're going? One person quickly noticed the cat and thought, there are no warriors at the Xishan base who keep pets. This group is clearly suspicious. We can't let them pass. The young man Zhang Yi quickly took off his helmet, increasing his speed fourfold. He swiftly drew his pistol and pulled the trigger. Bang! One person was immediately headshotted, red fluid splattering everywhere. The two others panicked. What? They're not one of us. We have an intruder. The two then raised their AKs and opened fire continuously. The young man Zhang Yi remained extraordinarily calm as he opened the spatial storage to absorb all the bullets inside. Liang Yu, witnessing Zhang Yi fighting him alone, thought to himself, when he was an enemy, I found his abilities exceptionally difficult to deal with. Now that he has become an ally, instead of worrying, that threat has turned into reassurance. Captain Lang Feng saw the spatial storage and immediately recognized it was Zhang Yi. Having faced the consequences of being overconfident against Zhang Yi before, he ordered the soldiers to not shoot, disperse immediately. Zhang Yi smirked. It's too late now. With all of his strength, Zhang Yi opened the spatial storage and the bullets that had been absorbed earlier were fired back out. The soldiers of the Xishan base were struck and killed on the spot. One lucky survivor hiding behind the corpse of a comrade thought, how could he have infiltrated here? Has the base's defense been completely paralyzed? Zhang Yi ordered a retreat. While running, Zhang Yi released numerous grenades from the spatial storage. The explosions shook the space and everything was engulfed in flames. Zhang Yi and his teammates, with all their strength and determination, all increased their speed and rushed out of the danger zone as if their lives depended on every step they took. In their haste, Zhang Yi continually observed the environment around him, his eyes quickly scanning every corner and shadowy spot while deeply contemplating the situation. Zhang Yi realized that their current position was indeed far from ideal for staying long, placed trapped between two battlefronts, unable to perfectly protect both the front and the back. Zhang Yi worried that his ability to use the storage space, an important tool in the fight, would be significantly diminished if they did not find an escape route soon, making resistance nearly impossible from all sides. Suddenly, while racing against time, a flashing light unexpectedly illuminated the dark space, seemingly signaling that the power system was about to be restored. This sudden appearance startled Zhang Yi, but he quickly recognized the importance of moving quickly. Zhang Yi urged everyone, move faster. We need to get out of here immediately. The people in front of Zhang Yi immediately responded to the call by running even faster, as if they were racing against death. Meanwhile, in the command room of Chen Xi Ran, the sound of the telegraph from his subordinates rang incessantly, leaving him stunned, his mouth agape in disbelief at what he was hearing. Leader, the intruder is Zhang Yi, and even the traitor Liang Yu has joined him. This news struck Chen Xi Ran like a bolt from the blue, making him extremely furious. Immediately, he issued a decisive order. I must capture them at all costs. Alive, you must see the person. Dead, you must see the body. As he hastily put on his coat, Chen Xi Ran could not hide his anger towards Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi, this time you have trapped yourself. Without your protective armor, I want to see what tricks you have left to confront me. Captain Lang Feng was also filled with resentment and anger, gritting his teeth. He led a powerful army forward, determined to seek out and eliminate Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi, this time I will see where you can escape to. I will settle all resentment with you once and for all. New hatred, old hatred. This time, I want to settle everything with you. Meanwhile, in the long hallway they were moving through, a soldier discovered yellow bombs planted everywhere by Zhang Yi's group and quickly reported the situation. Liang Feng immediately ordered, call the bomb disposal expert here. The others follow me to continue pursuing Zhang Yi. I will not let him escape. As Zhang Yi's group continued to move forward, they suddenly discovered an opposing army. Zhang Yi quickly ordered, don't worry about them, just push through. We can't stop here, it's too dangerous. A powerful warrior in the group, Uncle Wang, confidently declared that he would take care of it. With his extraordinary strength, bulging muscles, and superior power, Uncle Wang quickly moved forward, his shirt unable to withstand the force from within and tearing apart. You'd better get out of here. Uncle Wang shouted loudly and charged into the soldiers, creating chaos. Immediately, Uncle Wang rushed forward, sending several SI Shan soldiers flying. The others began to shoot, continuously firing at Uncle Wang. Despite the enemy using heavy weaponry, the bullets could do nothing to Uncle Wang's tough skin. Uncle Wang continued to charge into the soldiers, each powerful push sending opponents soaring through the air, blood splattering everywhere. Zhang Yi anxiously reminded Uncle Wang to be careful, but Uncle Wang calmly replied, appearing confident and unafraid. "Don't worry, it's fine. It's been a long time since I had an opportunity to train like this. Today is just a little practice session." Uncle Wang reminded himself of his incredible self-healing abilities. The mighty superpower is not only in the body, but he also has the ability to heal himself. As long as it is not a fatal wound, he can recover very quickly. Finally, when Lang Feng and his army arrived, they saw Uncle Wang standing in the middle of the battlefield, ready to face any challenge. Lang Feng, with a sword in hand, shouted menacingly, "Zhang Yi, now that you are here, don't even think about escaping. You will die here today." But Uncle Wang remained undaunted. Immediately, he rushed to stand in front of Zhang Yi, saying, "If you want to touch Zhang Yi, you must step over my dead body first." Thus, a fierce battle erupted. Lang Feng's mutant people charged forward with weapons, shouting, "Die!" Uncle Wang was exceptionally brave, defeating every challenger. The sounds of clashes echoed down the corridor, all of them sent flying by Uncle Wang's punches. In just a few short minutes, all the Xishan people were punched through the wall. Lang Feng was no exception. Zhang Yi stepped closer, looking down at the defeated Lang Feng and said, "You are just an artificial mutant person. How can you compare natural mutant people like us? Keep dreaming." Wang, with curious eyes and a mind full of question marks, listened to Zhang Yi's explanations about the superior strength of naturally occurring mutant people compared to artificially created ones. A spark of contemplation ignited in Wang's heart, prompting him to question himself. "Is that all there is?" Wang exclaimed, his eyes reflecting curiosity and disbelief, seemingly challenging every rule and limit that had been established. He couldn't hide the deep yearning to fight within him. Wang dreamed of a direct confrontation, a real battle with a mutant person where swords and guns were merely decorative accessories. He spoke with enthusiasm and determination. "I really want to be a true mutant person and have a real fight with real swords and guns." For Wang, it was not just a battle for honor or strength, but also a way to test himself to see how far he could push his own limits. In contrast to Wang's excitement, Zhang Yi held an entirely different perspective. The young man replied calmly, showing no signs of wavering. "If fighting is unnecessary, it's best not to do it. I just hope I never have to fight anyone in my entire life." As the brute was about to leave the area, suddenly a loud voice rang out, powerful and challenging, startling everyone. "Running away, huh? It's not that simple." The voice carried determination and resolve, allowing no room for evasion, like an unavoidable declaration of war. At that moment, a figure appeared, carrying a special object on their back. Everyone's gaze turned toward this person, realizing that it was Fang Zuan, the fire mutant they had seen in the documents. His appearance not only heightened the tense atmosphere, but also made everyone recognize the seriousness of the situation. Zhang Yi, quick and confident, opened his spatial gate, a move to prepare for the impending battle. Flames surrounded Fang Zuan. He displayed contempt for Zhang Yi's group and exuded extreme confidence through his actions and gaze. He spread his arms and sighed, as if challenging everyone before his power. Through observation and judgment, Zhang Yi realized that Fang Zuan was not in a hurry to attack. Zhang Yi thought to himself, "It seems he wants to buy some time." Zhang Yi assessed the situation of himself and his teammates at that moment, as the temperature around them was rising rapidly. Everyone was sweating profusely. Fang Zuan's flames were probably reaching thousands of degrees Celsius. If he recalled the spatial gate, everyone would die here. If he did not stop, the members of the Xishan special forces behind them would immediately pursue. He could not be stopped here. In the face of the tense situation, Zhang Yi decided to signal Su Chunlai. Su Chunlai immediately utilized his superpower, launching sharp iron ice crystals to attack Fang Zuan. With his agility, Fang Zuan easily dodged them, mocking, "You think these petty tricks can deal with me? Too knave." Immediately, Fang Zuan took a large jar from behind him and poured the liquid onto the floor of the Xishan base. He thought to himself, "This is the fuel I specially concocted. When ignited, will have a destructive power 10 times that of gasoline." The liquid slowly spread across the floor. Fang Zuan gleefully exclaimed, "All of you, just try tasting the flavor of fire." Then, Fang Zuan snapped his fingers and flames erupted fiercely. Watching the blazing inferno quickly moving towards Zhang Yi, Fang Zuan smirked with delight at his own control and declared, "I'll see how long you can hold out. The squad leader is on his way. You're definitely dead." The flames rushed towards Zhang Yi like a furious lion, wanting to devour everything. At that moment, The pressure and urgency for Zhang Yi became increasingly intense. The fire was now not just a physical threat, but also a signal that their time was running out. At the moment of imminent danger, Su Chunlei used his superpower to control icy blocks hurtling toward the flames. This move aimed to obstruct and contain the fire that Fang Zuan was fiercely charging at. The confrontation between fire and ice was not just a battle between two powerful forces, but also a symbol of the conflict between two wills and determinations. In an instant, a powerful blast of icy wind turned the flames back, causing a severe burn on Fang Zuan's face. It was an unexpected outcome that made him reflect. On the other side, there was also a mutant controlling ice and snow. Taking advantage of the opportunity while Fang Zuan was separated by the sea of fire and ice, Zhang Yi commanded his group to leave quickly. "Let's go, hurry up!" The whole group ran off swiftly. As everyone was running, suddenly a brave punch shot through at an astonishing speed. Uncle Wang was taken by surprise. It was too sudden, too fast, and too dangerous. Immediately, Uncle Wang braced himself and used both hands to block the punch. The force of the punch was so strong that Uncle Wang slid backward. Young Zhang Yi stood to the side, clenching his teeth in curiosity. He wondered who this terrifyingly strong mutant was. The newly appeared person shouted defiantly, "You want to find someone to fight, right? Come fight me!" Ha ha ha. Zhang Yi quickly recognized that the owner of that powerful punch was Lang Feng, so he hadn't died after all. Lang Feng continued to shout loudly as a declaration. "I'm here to give you what you want. Fight me." When Zhang Yi saw Uncle Wang being pushed back by Lang Feng's powerful punch, a trace of worry was evident in his eyes. The young man could not hide his anxiety when he asked, "Uncle Wang, how are you?" The youth's voice contained deep concern and helplessness in the face of his companion's perilous situation. Zhang Yi quickly summoned his space inventory, using it as his shield, a solid fortress to protect himself from the upcoming fierce attacks. He continuously unleashed the skills he had previously obtained from the space inventory. After casting his skills, Zhang Yi did not forget to check on Uncle Wang's condition, worry evident in his voice as he asked, "Are you okay?" Despite the pain and exhaustion, Uncle Wang tried to maintain his composure. His face was drenched in sweat, one hand clutching his broken arm, looking very frightening with bones protruding out and blood gushing. Even in that condition, Uncle Wang confidently replied to Zhang Yi in a slow tone, "Nothing. I'm not dead yet." Upon seeing the skills being unleashed, Lang Feng also guessed that these skills were being derived from the space capability. Lang Feng noticed the skills that Zhang Yi was using consecutively and began to speculate about their origin. He wondered, is this a skill originating from spatial capability? Realizing he was no longer a match for Zhang Yi after many defeats, Lang Feng decided to be cautious, reminding himself not to be reckless any longer. Being reckless and moving closer might fall into his trap. It's better to wait here and observe the situation for a while before making a decision. After all, they are just fish on the chopping block. How can they swim away? When Su Chunlei saw Uncle Wang injured, he hurried over to ask, "Uncle Wang, are you okay?" In response, Uncle Wang gritted his teeth in pain and said, "Luckily, I'm fine. It just feels like I've been hit by a train." Zhang Yi took out a syringe from his spatial storage. The young man thought quickly, "No matter how severe the side effects of this thing may be, there's no time to worry about it anymore. I need to help Uncle Wang recover his combat ability to deal with the formidable enemy in front of us." That thought drove Zhang Yi to inject the syringe into Uncle Wang's shoulder, an act that was somewhat desperate but necessary. The gray cat, ho-ho, with sharp eyes, growled as if ready to pounce and tear apart, making the atmosphere tense. It quickly bared its fangs and flashed its claws, prepared to confront anyone daring to come close. Lion Yu had tightened her fists, ready to respond to the battle. Zhang Yi gestured with his hand, "Don't worry, they won't get through." Lang Feng smugly challenged Zhang Yi, "Put your hand on your chest and ask yourself, then look around. Everything in front is engulfed in flames, and behind we are surrounded by the elite troops of the base. Given the situation, do you still think you can escape?" Meanwhile, Su Chunli was using his iced and snow powers to block the soldiers behind them. Zhang Yi frowned and muttered, "So it has come to this? I originally wanted to end this battle easily, but it seems it's not that simple." Although all escape routes seemed to be blocked, Zhang Yi and his teammates did not give in. Suddenly, Lian Yu's voice rang out, "Zhang Yi." From Lian Yu's eyes emanated a mysterious power. After a moment, Zhang Yi realized it was the power of hypnosis. On the other side, the people from the Xishan base were all affected by the hypnotic spell. The woman screamed in agony, clutching her eyes. Then she collapsed. "No, my eyes." Lang Feng and Fang Zuan also felt their heads spinning. Seeing that group of people had been caught in the trap, the young man Zhang Yi excitedly said, "Sorry, my superpower space can even reflect brainwaves." Zhang Yi then called Hua Hua. It immediately grew larger. A young man sat on the back of the cat Hua Hua, taking Liang Yu's hand to pull her along. Uncle Liang hugged himself while Chun-Li grabbed the tail of Hua Hua. Like a gust of wind, Hua Hua quickly flew past the people from the Xishan base while they stood frozen in a trance. As they passed by, the young man Zhang Yi opened the space and launched many grenades. At that moment, Lang Feng had escaped from the state of hypnosis. He shouted loudly, "Stop!" Before Lang Feng could finish his sentence, the grenades exploded one after another. Bang, bang, bang. The space was plunged into a sea of fire, and the people from the Xishan base were blown away. The large cat, Hua Hua, quickly avoided the massive explosion. Behind them, Su Chun-Li worried that the bombs might be disarmed and asked Zhang Yi, "Brother Zhang, those large ones haven't been disarmed, right?" Zhang Yi replied calmly, "No, we left many small bombs as smoke bombs. Plus, in the dim light, it won't be able to quickly find the explosives hidden in the corner. Once we get outside, I'll detonate them. A terrifying explosion will collapse the entire Xishan base, completely erasing it from Tianhai City." Bang! The large wall was smashed to pieces by Lang Feng. They chose to take a shortcut to move faster. At this moment, Su Mingji, the superpower beastman, also appeared. He immediately used his capability to transform his body into a giant monster, grabbed Fang Zuan and Yi Ronghua, and ran quickly after Lang Feng to chase Zhang Yi's group. Their speed was extremely fast and they quickly caught up. Su Chun-Li, with his slightly timid nature, looked back after a short distance and observed, "Brother Zhang, they're catching up to us. Hurry up. Should we throw bombs down or not?" Zhang Yi replied, "I'm not that kind of villain. If they want to chase us, then let them chase." The young man, Zhang Yi, responded unexpectedly, leaving Uncle Wang and Su Chun-Li extremely confused. Both secretly thought that his words held no persuasion whatsoever. Uncle Wang thought to himself, until now Zhang Yi has always worked to achieve his goals without fearing a means. Not casually using his spatial superpowers shows he must have his own thoughts. As Mio Hoa Hoa got close to the door, he rushed quickly outside. After that, Zhang Yi did not continue to run, but told Hua Hua to turn around and wait for Lang Feng and his group. When Lang Feng caught up with Zhang Yi, he whispered to himself, "The distance on the ground is actually nothing to worry about. Zhang Yi could still escape. Your spatial capability can only block one direction. As long as we attack from different angles, you will naturally be unable to defend and dodge anymore. Sooner or later, you will give up and die." At that moment, the young man Zhang Yi was no longer riding the large cat, but got down and moved a bit closer to Lang Feng to provoke him. Su Chun-Li anxiously pulled on the young man's shirt and asked, "Brother Zhang, what should we do?" Lang Feng continued to think, "Even if you take out a vehicle and drive away quickly, my people will immediately shoot out your tires." After considering all of Zhang Yi's escape routes, which were all constrained, he raised his voice and shouted, "Now let's see where you can escape to. There is no place for you to hide here." The young man sighed and calmly replied, "Every time there is hatred, there must be revenge. When will this kind of thing end?" While speaking, the young man was rummaging through the pocket of his jacket. Zhang Yi took out a remote control and raised it high, making Lang Feng wonder, "What is that?" Lang Feng immediately shouted, "What is that thing in your hand?" Before he finished speaking, Zhang Yi pressed the remote control to detonate the bomb. Bang, bang, bang. Loud explosions sounded in succession, the domino effect was activated, and the ground trembled. Lang Feng turned back in shock. What the hell is happening? Bang! The sound of the bomb exploding in the middle of the base was getting closer and closer outside. The explosions and vibrations echoed throughout the space. The thick white snow covering the ground began to fly everywhere under the pressure of the explosions, creating a chaotic scene amidst the deadly cold. Su Chun-Li clenched his fist in joy. It worked. From now on, the Xishan base can be completely erased from Tianhai City. The terrifying sounds of the bombs shook the earth and sky. Lang Feng's group was hurled away by the shockwave of the explosion, and dust covered the area. Lang Feng angrily yelled, "Zhang Yi, what have you done?" The young man calmly replied, "Do you remember when you attacked my shelter before? Did you leave behind a large amount of explosives? I added a little more. It's all back to you. The truth proves that your explosives are actually very good." Hearing Zhang Yi's words, Lang Feng was stunned. Zhang Yi did not forget to ridicule Lang Feng. "If it weren't for Captain Lang's gift, relying solely on myself to find chemicals and produce such effective explosives would really not be easy." At this moment, Lang Feng still couldn't believe the reality unfolding. He turned around to look and pondered. "So our base has been destroyed? Moreover, explosives were used that we had transported ourselves beforehand. Although he desperately wanted to check the current condition of the base, seeing the sea of fire raging behind him, Lang Feng could only grit his teeth. I can't go over there. Going down now would be looking for death. All the anger that had built up until now was released, and Lang Feng and his companions ground their teeth. All right, I will kill you first and then come back to save the people and the base later. Zhang Yi then raised his hand to signal, wait, Lang Feng, if we really fight, it's uncertain who will live or die. Do you really want everyone to die here? Moreover, you don't need to hold such a grudge. It was your people who invaded my territory first. Don't bring up revenge. Uncle Wang and Xu Chun Li were also ready to fight. Lang Feng stepped closer to Zhang Yi and insisted, at this point, what do you mean by saying such things? Only one side can exist here today. Either you die or I live. Zhang Yi pressed him. So, your only goal is to kill me, right? Lang Feng could no longer hold back. He exploded in anger. That's right. You must die here today. Don't waste your breath. Uncle Wang and Xu Chun Li were advancing when Zhang Yi stopped them. Since you've only won my life, I think we don't need to stake our teammates' lives. Lang Feng, let's settle our grudge one-on-one. Are you brave enough? If you really want it, accept the solo challenge. Hearing Zhang Yi say this, Lian Yu anxiously warned, have you gone mad? Do you have any idea how powerful he is? Zhang Yi quickly explained, we have fought so much on both sides. Even if we could win, the casualties would be heavy. Just let the two of us have a solo match. Coincidentally, the only person you want to kill is me. If I win, let us go, and you won't have the right to come for revenge anymore. If I lose, you can handle it however you want. So Lang Feng, are you willing to bet? I will definitely keep my word, though I know you won't let me live. At this moment, Uncle Wang and Xu Chun Lai were called when they were about to attack the Xtaishan base, back when they were still on the vehicle. Zhang Yi told everyone, those people are all skilled professionals. Now they have superpowers and strong combat capabilities. If we go all out, we definitely can't defeat them. In a dire situation, if we really encounter them, I will ask for a solo fight with their leader. The opponent doesn't really know my strength. They think I'm just a coward who only knows how to use space. Unsurprisingly, Lang Feng will surely agree to my proposal. In a solo fight, I still have a chance of winning. Returning to reality, Zhang Yi stepped forward, pressing and challenging. Lang Feng, do you dare to fight solo? The girl said to Lang Feng with a worried expression, Captain Lang, this kid definitely has some scheme. Don't agree to him. Let's just go fight them directly. The girl behind thought to herself, this person clearly wants to play some kind of dirty trick. Damn, we can still try to fight him, but his side has a mutant person who could become gigantic and manipulate ice and snow. The most important thing is that mutant creature. In terms of intelligence, we have much less information than the opponent. Under the circumstances of not knowing the opponent's strength and arbitrarily starting a battle, that would be disadvantageous. After thinking carefully for a while, Lang Feng pointed at Zhang Yi and said, one-on-one, I'll play a match with you. The reason Lang Feng agreed to Zhang Yi's proposal was partly because he thought of his teammates. Lang Feng thought to himself, in the chaos of battle, there will be casualties. I can't let my brothers sacrifice anymore. I have to risk it for them this time. Zhang Yi pointed to the other side. Choose the location at the valley over there. The others will wait outside. One is to supervise the battle, and the other is to ensure neither side interferes. The girl beside kept reminding Lang Feng, Captain Lang, be careful not to get tricked. Lang Feng walked away looking quite tense, reassuring the girl not to worry. Transitioning into the canyon, Lang Feng's teammates observed the battle from above. She murmured, in the face of absolute power, all devilish plots are meaningless. If the enemy is unprepared, isn't this just suffering to death? In a way, Zhang Yi's teammates all looked tense. Xu Chun Lei clasped his hands and thought to himself, Brother Zhang must be confident to go, he definitely will be fine. While both sides were watching the battle, the girl from Lang Feng's team spoke with a tone of deep hatred. That's right. Anyway, the leaders of both sides are already in a duel. I don't mind letting you in on a little secret. Do you know there are some mutant persons with the capability to absorb the power of others? It seems you didn't know. Well, I'll give you some free intelligence. Only a few strong mutant persons with this capability can devour the superpower of the weak to become even stronger. She confidently recounted Lang Feng's power enhancement process. During our captain's conquests outside, he personally killed 3 mutant persons from the opposing force and simultaneously seized their powers. Therefore, his superpower is stronger than anyone else's. That guy named Zhang Yi is definitely going to die. He really chose the wrong opponent. Upon hearing this, Xu Chun Lei and Uncle Wang broke out in a cold sweat. However, Xu Chun Li still has great faith in her leader. It's all right. Brother Zhang won't lose. The girl in red asked Chun Lei, on what basis are you saying that? Because our leader is extremely afraid of death. He absolutely will not risk his life. And what kind of reason is this? You watch closely. Soon, our Captain Lang will definitely bring his head out. Speaking of the two main characters of this match, Zhang Yi sighed at Lang Feng. Can we stop fighting? You need to know that I'm not a fighter. My superpower is supportive. Lang Feng's eyes were filled with determination. We must take Zhang Yi's life. No way. You have to die here today.